Welcome back, friends, to Occultists Anonymous, sponsored by Roll20, The Onyx Path, and viewers like you. Thank you to Adam, Al, Ellen, Michael, Alexander, Badur, Bernie, Brandon, Danny, Doc, Emil, Giovanni, James, John, Josh, Julian, Catfeathers, Lance, Melissa, Michael, he's back, Moku, Noba, Noctal, Perry, Puppeteer, Roviscride, Ryan, Schmitty, Sebastian, Sinna, Thomas, Usuf Sama, Firekeeper, and Zachary. Thank you guys for your support and letting us do crazy dumb stuff like character art, which isn't too crazy or dumb, but that is. As always, come join us on Discord, hang out, chat with us. It's great to have you guys, and we love to see your wacky episode title ideas. Righto. Yeah, let's just get into it. So when last left the Cabal, they had summoned forth or conjured and created. I guess technically not created, but pulled out, because creating would be 5 dots. The ghost of a seer that they killed, well, technically weeks ago. For us, months ago. Songbird had said, "Celestial fire, now you die." It took 2 to actually get her, but, you know.
Did it?
No.
No, it was 1.
No, you got her in
that's
1.
Right, that's the one that
got
you
her
like.
in 1, 8 aggravated.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you threw a lot, and that was when I realized some of these guys should probably walk around with words and signs on.
Yeah.
But she's back in this. I mean, let's be honest. She looks like a douchebag because she's a seer, but she also looks kind of badass. Like, she is in her full regalia, in her power, air quotes.
It's like her internal ego, basically, right? Manifested.
This is her rule the world self.
Yes, very much, as we talked about the spell Goetic evocation, though I guess this is more of a ghostic. Whatever. There's a pun there, I'm just moving on. Ghost version of it, where creating a flat echo of a mage based on their Nimbus shadow name, and legacy, but also based off the object, its importance, and the use and why they created the Soul Stone. So yes, she stands there holding this awesome, cool, runed and stylized staff and says, "Who dares?"
Hi.
Hi, I'm a necromancer. And she looks you up and down, and at least in my head, this ghost has no memory of you, because this was created.
Sorry, you didn't get a look at me before I killed you.
Kind of looks and kind of recognizes, because let's be honest, she's a mage, at least the memory of one. And goes, "What have you done to me? Undo it."
I mean, I can, but you will cease to be.
And you can watch the gears turning. And actually, no, Gaby's not around. Actually,
I feel like she would probably try to do mage sight.
Right, and that's what I was thinking.
I realize it doesn't work.
What?
Yeah. Actually, I think Gabe probably would be around, because why wouldn't?
Yeah, I still have the familiar spell up, actually. I still
that's
got
true.
him.
Yeah, because you had that for a week or something like that. Yeah. And so Gabe is leaned over here behind you, doing the, bouncer bodyguard look, and, just get a little, it's like, "Welcome to being dead, bitch." Moshta goes, "What the?" And the definite at a loss expression of "I really can't threaten. What do you want from me?" Actually, I think she takes it a step. I think she takes it a step further than that. "What do you want from me, child?"
Information.
What do you want to know?
Where's the 5th one? And then points behind her.
Let us roll. There is a roll from memory. I can't remember what it is. Let's see. As if I had been thinking this through.
This is like her decades-long obsession, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's very true.
She would remember the grimoires.
Yeah, I will definitely give you that one. And she looks down, and at first there's no recognition of like what the hell is all this, and then kind of looks at the tablet, the damn thing that started this all,
and realizes what she's looking at.
Right, and when she walks over in twilight and kind of lays her hand on it and kind of runs, over the various what does it say, Sumerian, I think we said, script on it, and she goes, search for this for so long. How do you have it?
I took it from your cold, dead body.
Well, it wasn't really cold, but yeah.
Well, still warm.
I love like weird. Who, generally speaking, when people are chatting, just kind of chill and sit back, and then that just little under the breath comment, and she just looks up at like weird and like, and you can see like she has gone from like being imperious to like fine, let's negotiate, to like the mage part of her, the obsession part of her is like really coming out. She touches that and she looks at the lightning in a bottle, which is odd because she touches it and of course the lightning doesn't do shit. Doesn't zip over to her hands or anything. Yep. And then, the Aesop's fables, and then Judd, who's like sitting next to all of them. And was Judd included in the Speak with the Dead?
No, I wouldn't have put that on, no.
Okay. Yeah, so he's over here like super amused and going, I'm sure something interesting is happening, but I'm only getting one side of this conversation. But she looks at, the three objects that are kind of gathered, and goes, the fifth one. Oh. And you can see like she is warring. Somebody roll presence plus persuasion.
Travis.
Can I get a bonus for also having her entire existence in my hands?
Oh yeah, screw it. Yeah, take another +2, so that's a +4 because you have the condition from your previous 9 successes. Took it from your scorched hot body. Yeah, no, it just doesn't have this. 4 successes, yeah. So not quite enough to put a condition on her if you had gotten the 5, but
I did get a beat though.
Oh yes, I was like, from what? Oh yes, the condition. And so she kind of looks and like again touching Thrazon's codex and like she seems very confused by the Book of Aesop's Fables. Because the other two are very clearly like, oh yeah, this is some ancient knowledge, and then Aesop's Fables, a little kind of worn cover and soft back, and it's clearly been read a bunch. Kind of look to it, and she says, "It is held by my tetrarch."
And who's that?
I don't bloody know.
Tetrarch of where?
She doesn't know, or you don't know?
No, the memory isn't in there.
Yeah, she's no, the and the tetrarch is basically like their version of a hierarch.
Mm-hmm.
It is the person who runs a very large area.
Where were you based?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
But yeah, the tetrarch. Well, tetrarch had it. That's me. Minor retconning, had possession of, but where it actually was. The tetrarch is the one who sent me out after these, and touches the Thrazon's codex, which actually no, she would have had by the time she made this soul stone. So yeah, so she remembers this, but these others. But yeah, no, the tetrarch had these had the first. I knew something about them. And then I found this. He found it in my possession. And convinced me to bring it.
Convinced you?
Oh, yes.
To betray the arrow and all that.
Yeah. You children have lived such short lives to rebel against the exarchs, against the powers in heaven, but it's futile. So better to rule in hell.
Nope.
Yeah, we didn't have the creepy soul-stealing chalice.
We have a strict no quoting Milton rule in this cabal.
Songbird doesn't know that.
Yes. Songbird pulls Milton out and everyone goes, what?
I would argue that's actually something he would know.
I guess that's probably fair. But no, the Tetrarch,
It's understandable that you don't know. You're not going to know all the things that Alive you knew.
Looks very, very displeased at that concept. And you can see very visibly gears turning, trying to think of other things and realizing giant swaths of empty memory. And gets kind of disgusted and upset and says, stop this. I'm done. Told you what, no. And release the spell.
Ready to...
Where's the Tetrarch?
Where is the Tetrarch? Anywhere. I don't know.
Leader of the Seers around Philadelphia.
Far beyond Philadelphia.
Is that not how your not conciliums work?
Oh, no. The Tetrarch rules most of Canada, all of the Northeast, down to DC, Raleigh.
Okay, so you have our work cut out for us.
The Tetrarch is like a god to you.
No.
Tetrarchs are archmages, you idiots. You can't stand against it.
Well, then that's the best way for you to get your revenge, isn't it? By sending us against them.
Revenge? I'm not getting revenge. I'm a hollow shell. I'm done.
Yeah, she knows she's not
right.
Real. You're not even the real ghost. You're the...
Yeah, I'm done.
Your ghost I snatched out of a soul stone.
Let me loose.
Well, we have a lead.
Yeah.
Is that good enough for y'all?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. No more questions for her?
Yeah, he's just watching, but...
Okay. Oh. Bye. Drop the spell.
Poof. Yep. Smoke. Shadow.
Yeah, and so he's kind of leans up and says...
I'll try this. That would be distasteful.
So, she might be right on some of that.
Are Tetrarchs archmages?
Yes and no. They call... Yeah, I know. They claim all their Tetrarchs are archmages, but the sheer number of Tetrarchs that they have, it wouldn't be feasible. It couldn't possibly. But there are enough of them that are that
That's a pretty big stakes for a 50-50 gamble.
Yeah.
Right. And even a 10% chance that they might be. And considering most Tetrarchs, they're ruling huge swaths of territory, controlling multiple pylons upon pylons. And yet they're not nice and kind and settled into a nice little concilium the way we are. They'll send, pylons basically, so tetrarchs report to ministers. As in the minister of the Panopticon, the minister of the Praetorian.
Mm-hmm.
So,
how many ticks is that worth on my scoreboard? Is it still just one?
Hiza goes, man, I don't know the rules of it. I'm sure they'll give you at least one big bold one, maybe.
I'll ask Red Dread.
Yeah, ask Red Dread.
It should be more than one.
But
you're probably going to have to assign a couple of arrows to wear your extra ticks for you.
Locating a tetrarch, let alone taking one on, is a suicide run. But that's not even the plan. The plan is find a grimoire without alerting a tetrarch. Figuring out where it is, getting to it.
Man, we don't have a location. We have half of Canada and half of the eastern U.S.
And they have enough pull. They probably aren't actually here. They could be sitting in some cozy spot that they've carved out in the astral, a pocket dimension, some, spirit manse in the shadow. For, kind of motions at detritus. For all we know, they have their own dominion in the underworld. Some emanation realm tied to seers. They are the beloved children of the exarchs, and they're worried not only about us, but their own minions. Because, how do you get a tetrarch position? Well, there needs to be an opening. So even, murdering your way through pylon after pylon of seers to try and track down, even they're not going to know. They're going to get messages. They're going to handle everything through intermediaries. That disgusting profane Urim that Mr. Graves used to have a meeting with you, and he's low totem pole. And these things were made by an Archmage.
So you're saying this might take, 2-3 weeks?
He reaches over, puts a hand on your shoulder. Songbird, I love your positivity. 2 weeks to locate somebody who might know where the Tetrarch used to be. Now, that said, it's not an impossible task for mages. But
right.
It's going to take work.
A lot of work. And,
But our goal isn't the Tetrarch.
Right. It's the Tetrarch's holdings, which hopefully one would suspect is a little more accessible because the Tetrarch, whatever they have, they are going to be loaning out. There's going to be some member of staff that are associated with it or charge of it, because I'm sure the Tetrarch isn't personally going in, picking stuff out and sending it places. Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing, I think, is locating said place without letting the Tetrarch know that not only are you looking for it, you have 4 of the things they were looking for.
Yeah, can we actually, secure these a bit better?
Hiza looks over at Judd, looks over at you guys, says,
Judd's a person. We can't, hide him away. But like the others, the books, the lightning jar.
I mean, I
Judd,
can. Yes.
How do you feel about joining a cabal?
I mean, I'm not sure. And like looks over at Hiza, and he's just like,
I think one of the best tools we have to protect you right now is if you joined our cabal.
I think staying at the Athenaeum with the entire bulk of the Mysterium guarding him is probably
so we
safer.
wanted to be involved in that, but yeah.
Like, I was trying to think of like get someone up like a pocket dimension and put these in so that they're not findable in our world.
And Hiza says, I mean, I can do that and lock them away. If you are all willing to trust me with their safekeeping.
If you aren't, we have other Mystigos and other orders that you could hand a thing off to.
Right, but that's where we get into somewhere there's the weakness of people. Well, actually motions to network and says, eventually network might. I mean, it's going to take some practice, and network's like, no, I'm with you. It's not quite my thing, but or.
Well, I'll be able to do that too, eventually.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
I'm not there yet, though.
But it always comes down to there's going to be some human element, some person, and if I made a pocket dimension and relinquished it, then it's out there and I have no no control of it, but all it takes is one, skilled mage to get hold of me, dig around in my head, and like there's ways around anything. So there's always, it's what level of security and what kind of risk you're willing to put up, and kind of motions at Judd and says, I mean, Judd is secure as he can be as a person with the Mysterium, but that's if we leave him locked in the Athenaeum all the time. But Judd does it. I do like serving coffee. I do like leaving occasionally. I could join the cabal, and I'm not opposed to helping you all with this, because I mean there's the potential that when you find the fifth one, you might be able to undo this, which I mean that's a journey and a decision and a experience for the future, and it slightly terrifies me. I'm starting to get a hang of my own powers and abilities, which might be the next character sheet that we make on Patreon. We might actually make Judd's deviant sheet. But there's some possibility, and I know you all went to Cambodia recently, and that would have been an interesting trip. You also saw a Sphinx and dealt with some abyssal creatures, which doesn't sound interesting. But
it was a really bad interesting. Sphinx. It was a garbage Sphinx.
Not even a single riddle.
Like network and Titus both. Here we go again. I'm open to it. At this point, and he's a continues. I mean, having if the Tetrarch literally has their hands on the fifth one, is no way of finding these, because that's the same issue we're running into, unless there's something. If the Tetrarch is an Archmage and has some absolutely batshit crazy arcana that we don't even understand, but at that point, where is he?
Why haven't they taken them?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think we can bank on the fact that they don't know these are here. There's very few within the Concilium that even know about what these are, how they're related, and that they even exist.
The Praetorians knew, though.
They knew what?
Abaddon knew we were looking for these.
That's not been a huge secret. We haven't given anyone the details and stuff, but there's people within the Concilium who know we've been collecting these.
And there's only a handful of folks who know that. But yeah, the Praetorians did know. But at least Abaddon doesn't care about the Panopticon. So that might actually be in our favor. Oh god, I don't believe I'm going to say this. The Praetorians might be an ally in this.
I mean,
I'm not saying I want to reach out to them. That's your business. I'm not getting involved in that. I just want to take a look at the pretty grimoires.
I mean, you're right. I just don't like it.
No, but if even if you just know that they're there and potentially stymieing whatever the Panopticon wants, at least in this particular regard, that gives you some, some knowledge that you're not alone in this, air quote, which is yikes. But, and if all else fails, and maybe we figure out a disposal method. Like if it comes to it, and kind of motions to Network and Titus and says, if something goes wrong, then they can have some kind of process, or maybe Songbird, you can make a tool where they can, because we smash and destroy one of these, and make some permanent thing to undo them. If nothing, if your attempts to recover everything go sideways, then have some kind of bail the fuck out, poison pill, whatever you want to call it, to deny the Panopticon these. Because by themselves, they're intriguing and powerful grimoires, but
it's the together part
they don't end civilizations unless they're together.
Right. And
if it comes down to letting the Panopticon have them all, or get rid of one. Yeah.
And Judd is over here kind of looking a little wide-eyed.
Not you.
Well, I know, because it's on my bones. So even they could kill me and
Judd,
still have it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, because this is more your area, but we can erase that if we need to without killing him.
That's a mystery in itself. And that's not one you get to
try again.
Experiment with,
Depends on
I would rather
what
smash
kind of mage you are.
One of the other ones. Probably the one that destroys brains.
None of
one
them
that
are
blows
particularly
up
pleasant.
minds.
That's actually just not psychic assaults. The next hero, it's the 4 damage spell.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
Fate mages couldn't add a conditional duration to a spell that's already ongoing, can they? I didn't think so.
And I think I can only add conditional durations to spells I'm part of casting.
Right. It is literally an attempt. It's you can't apply sympathetic range to somebody else's spell.
But
it's the same kind
if we all end up taking Egregore, then we can all cooperate on spells, right? No?
You can, but the spell itself has to be castable by everybody in terms of Arcana.
Okay.
And whoever is the primary on it is the one who
the attainments apply to. Okay.
Because I can 100% break this thing. But putting it back together.
And Hiza goes, and you got to really destroy it, because a little bit of time magic, even death, deny the Reaper, and you can restore destroyed objects.
Sure, but fixing the object wouldn't put the grimoire back together.
It would rewind time until before it was destroyed.
Right. So not just the mere matter of it, but yeah,
you'd have to actually delete it.
Yeah, deny Reaper sends objects or the subject back to what its state was previously. And then, of course, if you have a time mage, they could literally just jump back in time. So,
okay.
Meta knowledge, we're more talking about some way to chuck this thing into the Ouroboros or the sea. I can't remember what the hell the thing is called in the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of the few things that are capable of just undoing things. Because like you throw it into the ocean or Ouroboros or whatever the hell it's called, in the astral, it's just, you've chucked it into the abyss. It ain't coming back. But and yeah, so and he says like, and I'm like, it's been on my mind, and no offense to Judd or anything, but I've definitely thought of ways to whisk him away to, you know, permanent exile or something like that, if, you know, investigations go wrong. Because and Judd goes, listen, I literally spent centuries being weirdly used. I'm not looking forward to some like, and it's very weird hearing him say it, some douchebag like use me to destroy civilizations. Not okay. The Ocean of Fragments, yes, thank you. So at this point, I think we begin some quiet inquiries, maybe. I mean, you ask the Praetorians, check with the Free Council, maybe in Philadelphia, call up the Founding Fathers and see what they know. I mean, that's at least a starting point.
Yeah.
Does the Free Council infiltrate?
It's hard to infiltrate the Seers, like
because the Seers infiltrate us. So I was wondering if that goes
because we don't have
ways.
exarchs telling us who the traitors are.
Right. Yeah, they don't have, you know, cheat codes from on high. Guardians have done it before, but it's never infiltrating as a seer. It's infiltrating as a sleepwalker or one of their retainers to spy. And it's never long term. And I think, you know, at most, Weird has probably heard of, you know, people doing this. They go in, they infiltrate, they get whatever bit of information they want needed, and then they get the fuck out and relocate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we have.
I can. It would probably take some time, but I can get us on that path.
What path?
I'm not trying to infiltrate Seers.
No,
that's what we're talking about.
No, to get us on the path to find it, because we don't, in the context of the grimoires, we don't give a fuck about the Seers. We want the grimoire. So I can cast Strings of Fate that would allow us opportunities to gather information or to find leads. It might take some time, and it might be mean chasing down a bunch of these or a series of these that would lead us on the path to get there. I can't say it won't be dangerous, and I can't say it will be direct. but that's an option. So that during the course of living out the rest of our lives until we find it, opportunities will arise for us to start drawing dots. That'll lead us towards the grimoire.
You get enough clues, triangulate, GPS, whatever you want to use, and however it shows up is a definite possibility.
Make it so we ask the right people the right questions.
It's more like opportunities will fall in your lap from time to time.
Oh man, I don't know if I want that.
And like I did this when I found Occultists, and it took days of little clues and little hints and things that started reappearing in my field of vision or an audio cue that led me to a coffee shop. And around the corner of the coffee shop in the back alley was that tear that we looked at. And that led me to Occultists, which led me to solving a riddle that my great aunt had given me years and years ago. So it works in funny, strange ways, but it would give us an opportunity to work towards that goal, even if we're not necessarily aware of it at the time. It would mean being observant and being open to possibility.
Open to possibility? Observant? Mages? No. But, I mean...
hey, it's the sixth time that I've seen this person in the last week. Maybe I need to talk to them or follow them or, that kind of thing.
I mean, it's indirect, which may help.
Mm-hmm. And it's not the kind of thing that's likely to, because we're not pinging the Tetrarch directly. Our goal is to
indirect. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's completely indirect. It's going to be hard to detect. We're not changing anything. We're just allowing opportunities to appear for us.
Yeah.
Weird. That is the single most thought out plan you've ever given us.
I knew I had to make a pitch because it's
so proud
magic
of you.
and I know you don't like that stuff. So I spent the last 20 minutes thinking how to phrase this.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
The weird wheels out the whiteboard.
Yeah.
I'm going to go print you an award or something.
Mm-hmm.
Forge you an award, clearly.
Well.
Little,
like your little pin.
Number one fate mage of the cabal.
Number one plan maker.
And so, and he's who's, watching this and goes, I mean, it's a starting point, if nothing else. And, you pick up little clues and, keep a journal, write down different stuff that you're noticing. And, you all keep noticing, signs that say vacation in Aruba. Maybe you go check out Aruba.
Maybe we should go to Aruba.
Right.
I mean, we could just go. If you want to go to Aruba, we can just...
You say to Hiza, the space mage, she goes, I'm currently in Aruba working on my tan, for all you know.
Turn mage side on.
Yeah, like everybody. I'm like, I'm not, but adjust his jacket, but, I could arrange it. So it kind of pats the table and says, well, as expected, I have made no progress on this, but this...
It really is infuriating, huh?
Absolutely bonkers frustrating.
I mean, you have cool new routes that you can cast, maybe?
Yeah. Prime... Well, the Prime stuff, he might be able to get a couple of them, but... because he does
my
have,
lightning.
Yeah.
It's my jar of dirt.
Yes. But he says, no, that's fine. I'll admit, I went into this, little get together kind of expecting this, but and kind of looks over at Judd and says, I'm gonna head back. Are you? And he's like, yeah, I can walk back if or
just before you go. Like I was suggesting, Judd join the cabal because then my legacy abilities would extend to him.
It's and actually I think he's pretty straightforward. He's like, it's a cabal matter. One way or another, Judd is your responsibility. He's my buddy. Pats him on the shoulder. Judd slaps him on the back. He's like, "Yep, but it's it's up to your cabal and Judd." So I'll leave that discussion to you all, and I'll be honest. At the end of the day, maybe think better that I don't know the status of, just in case. The less people that know things about these grimoires, the better. So, and kind of stands up, pats shoulders, gives hugs, and then walks out the door. Huh?
He's a hugger.
He's a hugger for you. Yeah, okay. It's one of those. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, fine. Let's get this over with. Yeah.
Yeah. Walks to the door and puts his hand on it, and then it's just
and disappears.
Yep. Meanwhile, Judd goes, "Okay, so what kind of responsibilities are involved?" Because Titus is over in the kitchen, making dinner.
You don't have to cook. He likes doing this. He just kind of started. So
you hear from Titus, it's practice.
Yeah, it's good for him to learn.
So I'm imagining that your responsibilities would I don't know how familiar you are with Mage Society.
It's literally the only society I've known for the past couple weeks.
Right, but the rules and things like that. So we provide safe passage through our territory, and we also offer sanctuary to anyone who seeks it. And I'm thinking that a good job for you might be to be like the welcomer to people who come to our door and seek sanctuary, and to look after their needs, not as a servant necessarily, but just as a host.
Well, and Network can kind of take over a little bit of what he's just been doing, showing you around and learn the area and keep getting adjusted.
Yeah, that's true. And Network is absolutely, I have so many people that you can meet who get us. It's I'm open to that. It recognizes Network from going to the play.
Well, they're also at the Athenaeum together.
And possibly one other good thing would be we have contacts outside of Mage Society.
Right, and that's what Network is talking about.
Yeah, so there's that might broaden your horizons and expose you to. Mage Society can be a little limiting
and uptight.
Yeah.
His only experience with Mage Society is the Mysterium.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Librarians.
I'd make that offer, and that would give us a better ability to see your protection as well.
Yeah, I'll think it over. I like working at the Athenaeum. I like serving coffee, but
now, just to be clear, I'm making this offer. I'm making the suggestion just as me. The rest of us would have to discuss it as well.
Sure. No,
we haven't really had a chance to do that yet. So
I'm for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're for it?
Oh, okay.
I think it's a great idea.
If you want to, then yeah.
But it's completely up to Judd to decide.
I'm on board. I'm not joking. I serve coffee, but I have not magical powers, but I have powers and skills, and don't ask what they are because I haven't made his character sheet.
Don't know yet.
But I can do some things, and it's become.
Will you train with me?
Train?
Yeah.
In what way?
Learn to use your powers in case you need to. And to defend yourself.
To be blunt, yes. No, hang on. Hell's to the yes. Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Sure. It's a little outdated, but it'll work.
Damn. But no, I've been, for the longest time, it was don't mess with that because it made me feel weird. But now I'm a little more accustomed. I'm a little more settled. I feel more stable. And so some of this stuff that kind of came out oddly and just without provocation, and now I'm kind of coming to grips with it. It's like Spider-Man. I have these powers and I should do something with them, right?
Sure.
Like, you guys have all seen Spider-Man, right?
This is why we're going to train together. God, they have turned you into a nerd already. I didn't expect that it would progress this quickly.
Popular media, man. Spider-Man's top tier. So he nods, yeah, okay.
But yes, look, I get to take a look at your powers a little bit. I'll teach you to fight. And, finally I'll have something to do that's not just, reading books with the nerds.
Yeah. And for meta knowledge and more to just get things going. Yeah, Judd is on board, joins the cabal. Ta-da!
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking to physically fight someone, I can make you zombies. You want to brawl with some corpses?
So we're going to get an unmarked van showing up at the back door periodically, unloading large black bags.
I'm just saying, if you're bored and you want to fight.
And let's be honest, anytime he's bored, there is a gym that he can go to, and there's also the arrow that he can go spar at. So, but none of them have a deviant for him to try and fight against. Yeah, this is like the swords master who's mastered the sword, and he comes across somebody who's a badass at a long spear and goes, ooh.
Alternately, you could probably
or has a gun.
Or has a gun. Yes,
you could just throw down with Gabe, like let him manifest and probably kick your ass.
Physically, they're pretty because what's Gabe's?
Gabe's a bit bigger, power? And he's
probably got like 6 or so strength.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Rank 2 spirit gets plenty of dots, like 15 plus.
I think I said
physical dot.
I didn't make his sheet that way.
He's got.
It says strength was his top one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 4 strength, but also 4 intelligence. He's got 4 power, so he's got 4 strength and 4 intelligence and 4 presence.
Fine.
Oh, and 3 stamina.
Yeah. We're fairly even the match, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. So I think that's kind of a
and so there's some chatting and like back and forth, and Titus is like, "Damn, okay, hang on." Gets another plate out, and while you guys are eating, Judd says, goes through the oaths, and basically takes over the door warden, kind of thing, or not takes over, but takes on the role of
apprentice door warden.
Yeah, apprentice door warden. Which I love. Like, you guys are going over everything. And I promise as the door warden. Apprentice door warden.
Assistant to the regional door warden.
Right. He's like, I get that reference. Songbird probably does not make that reference.
Over dinner. So I've been thinking with my new future, I guess. I know that like this place is sort of yours, like the two of yours. Like you guys built this place and set it up and stuff, so I don't want to intrude, and I'm totally okay if the answer is no, but I was wondering if maybe I should invest in the domain here.
It's our sanctum.
Yeah, it's like even Network comes up and he's like, hang on, what do you mean it's theirs? Like,
well, like the domain part, like you guys built this place, and I just thought I'd ask to be respectful.
I mean, if you want to bring a soulstone here and add it, sure.
Okay.
Network will appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Please. And like he's got that watch still, his soulstone. But he's like not set that up as a domain. He's still hanging on to it. Very, very useful tool for him to cast with, because it's similar to a dedicated magical tool for paradox reduction and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay.
Cool. So we have a nice little dinner there and a chit chat, and I think Atratus' thing may have to wait until next week. Unless we want to do the ritual. I don't know if anybody else has anything else going on.
Wanted to talk to Hadramio.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We good leaving that till next week? Okay, good. Because then I can come up with the thing that we'll cover. Yes, thank you. Yay. Cool. Hadramio, call, have him visit.
Yeah, like set up some time to like hang out in as much.
Well,
like, the next day.
Where? Like with everybody here or
no?
Okay,
just the two of us.
Okay, yeah, because I couldn't remember what you wanted to talk about. But yeah, no, you actually get an invite back to the church, the sanctum that he has there and stuff like that, and meet with him. And he's there in like some like casual clothes and stuff like that. But like there's like a lingering like. He's been up to some casting kind of stuff. Songbird, come on in, kind of leads you into one of those little back rooms. And he goes, yeah, I'm trying to work out a route. So we'll see.
Cool.
But what can I do for you?
Just wanted to catch up on everything that's been going on.
Yeah. So, what all do you know from your chit chat with the vampires?
I know that that Chico is in charge. The Carthians.
Right.
I know that she was in our debt.
Interesting. Was?
Yeah, was. I gave her a heads up. Told her it was election season.
Right, and we talked about that you lean towards the Carthian, but the part means she's no longer...
She said mages had to die and that we could pick 3. So we sent him in the direction of some seers.
Okay. Thought we were about to have a confessional there, Songbird. Okay.
No. God, no.
Well, just one of those little panic moments because you and I don't see eye to eye necessarily on some stuff. So,
sure.
Okay, good. No, that's, yeah, absolutely. Send them to seers. Right.
But just out of character. Does he really think that we would sick them on Concilium mages?
Potentially.
He doesn't know us at all.
And bear in mind, because he's not talking about the Cabal, he's talking about Songbird, who, let's be honest, Songbird
is not confrontational with some people.
But yeah, is, and yeah. But yeah, look, and says, okay, cool. That's kind of what I expected. But, that's good. Chico has reached out to the hierarch. We are supposed to be there in the discussions of a ceasefire and a cease and desist and some new rules and negotiations. Chico is, more open to negotiation than Lucian had been. Lucian, whatever his name was. But I think is going to be a little bit, have some more demands of us in regards to sleepers.
I think she's more ambitious.
Does come across that way. Lucian was very happy with the status quo, and I think Chico is going to try and make some claims and maybe even have some mage-free territory is what she's been claiming, which I don't think that's going to go over very well, but we'll see what she wants to claim.
I have no opinion of her, honestly. Like, if she gets too ambitious and we need to do this all over again, then so be it.
Oh, okay. And, yeah, well...
Her prey are my people. So...
I guess that's true. And if nothing else, like you said, we do it again. I mean, eventually we just...
How many times do we have to keep teaching this lesson, old man?
Yeah, okay, I got you now. You're not calling me an old man. I appreciate that. Okay.
No.
Yeah, so... but that's good.
But, I mean, this seems to have gone well. Like...
Overall, we've had some losses.
I'd give it like a 8 out of 10, maybe.
I'm willing to give it a 9.5.
Okay.
I'm the only losses we've had so far have been mages who have not followed direction. They were told to stay home
for your own safety and those of your friends and family,
and to basically keep an eye on those connected to them, and just stay indoors, stay away from strangers, basically, and to limit their contact to people outside of their normal social circle. And the only folks, well, the one arrow who died, who decided to go out by himself to get drinks at night. I don't know at what point, right? So I don't put that at my feet or yours. That is fully their own blame. Mm-hmm. But I think overall, if nothing else, Chico has already had more talks with the hierarch directly than Lucian ever did already.
Yeah.
So that's an overall plus.
That was the goal, right?
Right. But that's not what brings you here, I don't think.
No. What about our goals?
Meta knowledge, or out of character. Which ones are you talking about? Because there's a couple different things you've talked to Dromio about. Like nudging the hierarch, and also actually, you haven't talked to him about forging. You haven't talked to him about forging the stuff.
I've talked to him about big supernals, but not what it's for.
Okay, right. So, but you were
talking about like Provost and and like him, like because he had basically said, "I'm willing to become the hierarch if I need to."
Right. So yeah, he kind of leans back into like this is going to flex knowledge on you. You guys are in like a small prayer room, kind of thing, comfortable chairs and stuff like that. And he kind of leans back and says, we'll see what happens with Chico and Sun and Winter. If all goes well and the hierarch calms down, then maybe we can nudge Red Dread out of being so aggressive,
involved,
and let the Concilium go back to being the Concilium. I mean, the Arrow already have 2 counselors. The Free Council has 1. Silver Ladder has 1. Mysterium has 1. Like, I don't know. Like, the Guardians are not like.
Shodel's pretty involved.
Shodel is pretty involved. He's a very good sentinel. Harold, thank you. Weird. Hey! He's a very good herald. And I think, honestly, he could replace... though he couldn't replace, but I'm sure the Guardians could replace Moonkeeper or Pip.
Right.
Which I've spoken with Moonkeeper. He thought that may happen when...
I was surprised by him.
Moonkeeper surprises me in numerous ways frequently. Moonkeeper does not think in a straight line. And I think there's something to be said about underestimating him, looking at him. That, at least for me, is going to be my excuse.
Sure.
Because he looks like a boy half my age, third my age, fourth my age. Shut up. But he has a mind for planning, and this whole idea that he was willing to make the ultimate sacrifice, which and kind of like makes it casual, to a cross on the wall. He goes like I mean, it hit me where it hurts, but he survived, and so far this plan, without him or any of you dying, has gone off. So, like, there's more dead mages, but even you were able to nudge them in directions. So I don't know if, to be blunt, his divinations didn't take into account the Rookery's involvement in some way.
Wild card bitches.
Thought you were all going to be just, in your own territory or something. I don't know. It concerns me that he would be that blind, but at the same time,
sure,
like, willing to make this.
I mean, maybe you know more about this, but I don't divine anything. So
right, no, that's not
double entendre there.
Yeah, I got it, but no, I don't. Yeah, that's not quite my place either. But if if we move forward as a concilium, and things don't get on track to where, well, at this point, I guess I can say we think they should be going, then we look at the next step. I'm not about to fabricate untruths or start a smear campaign or anything like that.
I'm like pretty much incapable of lying,
which I appreciate about you, by the way. But actually, to be a little blunt, what does the Rookery think of this? How much do they know about it?
I haven't told them anything, really.
Okay. Which, a little bit of a lie, but I'm not going to hold that against you. And meta knowledge,
so.
If I remember,
it's more just I didn't
withholding truth.
Nothing was set in stone. There was nothing to really tell them.
Right. And if I remember correctly, Hadramiel basically expressed hey, not happy with the hierarch at dinner with you all, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to remember how much knowledge in character everybody had. But because I'll be honest, you 4 are becoming a bit of a force within the Concilium. A lot of the other cabals are happy with their little mysteries, while you 4 are, for lack of a better term, doing things and getting involved, and pushing things forward.
So is it time for the Concilium to recognize that then?
Well, I know that, especially after these meetings with Shiko, and the fact that I know that you had a hand in that, that's definitely something that's going to be coming up, at least within and among the counselors, and then very likely at the next Concilium meeting there will be special recognition from the council, if I have my ways, an acknowledgement that this was, while not necessarily orchestrated, because that's on Red Dread and Moonkeeper and Pip, it happened because of your all involvement. Yours specifically, I know of, but I'm sure contact with vampires was Atratus. I'm sure Weird had something to do with
everything that we do. Weird is there.
Double entendre. But yeah, so with that, I think it's appropriate to at least acknowledge. I don't think our Concilium is quite at the same level that Philadelphia is, with the founding fathers ruling Philadelphia. I don't think. Well, they would probably hate ruling, but
it's arose by any other name, right?
Yeah. I don't think that's your cabal is far too small for that.
Yeah.
but you're definitely in position to, when you say this thing is a thing, people are starting to actually pay attention. And that's, as an old man in this concilium, it's slightly terrifying, but as somebody who has been under sun and winter this long and seen how he works and how he does things, and how he basically cows all the other cabals into either leaving or, to be honest, shit detail, like, keep an eye on Manhattan, and you all not only keep an eye on Lower Manhattan, you do it adjacent to Sears, work with Sears, kill Sears, and coordinate with supernatural beings, while also doing this thing with grimoires. You all are a little terrifying.
Good.
And two of us have founded legacies.
Yeah.
Found.
And
I found it.
No, you found it.
Yeah.
So, good. All right. I'll be honest. I am done with politics. Let's talk about fun things.
Draws out the BlackBerry. Yes, you asked me about some stuff. And then
goes in bag.
Yep.
Look at my jar of lightning.
Pulls it over, like cradles it, and like touches it and reaches, and like oh my god! Yeah. I said that. Wow. And yeah, you guys have a lovely little chit chat over a grimoire, and he also shares some supernal beings that he has summoned recently, and kind of nudged into like, hey, what do you think about like working with another supernal being? And it's like, from what region? So another one from Aether. Oh, okay, yeah, we can probably do that. You're not going to summon some Stygian, are you?
Oh, no, please, God, no.
So yeah, you guys have a little chit chat, and yeah, he basically starts talking about some of the various useful supernal beings that at least on the end of, because you at least told him that you wanted to make something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pull out my plans too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you guys definitely have a little bond over that. Cool. Any other little things in the next 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, you can like
try to
we can set up dice. The ritual. I can start summoning.
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. I'm basically just going to. I assume we have like offices set up. I'm going to take one of them and use it as like my summoning room.
Yeah, my view of this place is you have this large open like factory floor, and then you've got various upper level management offices that like look down at it, as well as like some down on the ground floor, which would be like a foreman's office kind of stuff. So you've got several different rooms, plus a little break room kitchen thing. So yeah, you can find a space somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go to an office and start preparing the space, I guess. To figure out how many rolls I need. If I set up the area, that's a -1 on my number of successes, yeah?
It depends.
Intelligence plus occult.
Right. You can either get descriptive with it and tell me what you're doing to try and set up the space to be right, and then I kind of guesstimate, or you roll intelligence plus occult, and for every 2 successes removes 1 success that you would need.
Okay, well, I'm trying to look for information on Gabe's death. So I'm going to take anything I have that was related to him.
Yeah, which not a ton of, but you definitely have the necklace.
The anchor.
The anchor, yeah, the necklace, yeah.
I was looking for more things related to him alive.
Right.
Which, I mean, the necklace is, but also it is the ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got probably some pictures. I imagine Atratus goes into the Kinko's and prints out a bunch of pictures from off her phone. It's like, I need these. They're sitting on Facebook. I need to actually print them. Kind of stuff, yeah.
Pictures, any little items I had that were like linked at all. Just sort of set them up around the space.
But there's also the like bringing it into Stygia.
Mm-hmm.
That's another aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna set out my tools, the assorted bones, and I have the lead coin, which is like the it's not a ferryman's coin, but that's what it is. It's got the stamped with the poppy, which is Thanatos' symbol, and a skull on the other side.
You also have a soul stone of a ancient Moros mage.
Oh, I do. It just doesn't have a Moros in it anymore, but
no.
Same.
Neither did Mashta, but it's still, it's still tied to it.
Yeah. Basically just array those in like a summoning circle.
I dig it. Yeah, I think, big old -3, I think, is what that'll end up getting you.
Okay.
What rank were you wanting to summon?
I don't need it to be very powerful. Like, I'm not trying to get it to do things.
It's more fun if it is, though.
I need it to know things. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I feel like 2 should do it.
Okay. So you're at 15 there, minus, 3. So yeah, you're at 12. How long do you want it to hang around before it starts to weaken?
I was just going to do the first duration because
by default, it starts to weaken
immediately. Yeah. The first one is like 30 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for each one, it's 30 minutes.
30 minutes per success,
yeah. Okay, so +1, that's 13. Extra bonus successes that you want to get without doing but before I start rolling. And of course you can get Songbird's help with that, so I don't know if that's necessarily something you want to do, because you know how Songbird gets if you summon a supernal without him being around.
Shoot, do you want me to call up a couple of my cultists and give you a bath?
No, I don't need that sort of that cleansing. No. But yeah, I do have like the
you could potentially knock this out in like 3 rolls. It's not a big deal.
But yeah, I was going to do a cleansing, but not with your cultists. So that takes another 1 off or 2?
I haven't looked at that yet, but yeah, there is that.
Cleansing is 2.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just going through the bullet points here.
Yep.
So the protect area, are you doing any additional to get additional rolls? Because by default, it's resolve plus composure. So whatever that is for you, that's how many free rolls you get.
That is only 6, I think.
Only 6. You're rolling Gnosis plus Death.
No, it's only 4. Yeah, resolve and composure is 4.
Wow. Yeah, so you might want some extra.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's something Songbird has worked out a spell for.
Yeah, when he gets back, I would ask him to help me set this up.
Okay. No additional sleepers, no additional mages of a different path. In a domain-oriented other, nope, not doing that. Add a success if you cause paradox, even if contained within the last week.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So that's +1. Subtract 3 because you're definitely taking place in the Stygian domain, so you're at 11. And then cleansing, yantras, expanded yantras, patronage.
That's in Signs of Sorcery.
Yeah. Subtract 3. Oh wow. Okay.
8.
Okay. In 4 rolls.
In 4 rolls, and you're rolling 8.
Okay.
Do you wait for Songbird?
Oh yeah, I was gonna get him to come.
Yeah, he gets really upset if you cast without him.
Like, sort of prepare the space to help protect it.
If you do a level 5.
Yep.
I'm gonna just roll 8 dice, and it's a potency spell that we talked about.
Yep.
So
it's 4. Yep. Yeah. There you go. So yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Oh, with death though? Okay, fine. Here you go.
Oh, this is gross. I don't want to do this. This room is weird.
I guess wake me up.
So you can be a specter.
So you have 8 rolls to get 8 dice before I even try to make abyssal intrusions. So yeah, go ahead and roll Gnosis plus Death. And it's an hour per roll?
2.
Oh, and don't forget to spend a mana.
Yes.
Oh no.
4.
6.
4.
Okay.
So, yeah. In 3 hours, easily within your safe rolls, a supernal being arrives. Cool.
Okay.
So next week,
we'll figure out what that is.
what it looks like and what trial it has, and just to remind everybody, including myself, basically it's I want to know more information about the death of Gabe and the things surrounding it, right? The connections to it and stuff like that. Yeah, because otherwise I'm like, it's going to show up and be like, he burned, yo.
I got
yeah.
a twinge in my dream vision that something is up. I got a clue in the form of the knife that wasn't burned.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, something is not on the up and up here, and I want to know what it is.
Yep. Cool. So we will definitely cover that next week. Next week will be... Hang on. Am I doing math right?
Our last week before we take our break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because this is 96 and 97. Then 98 and 99. And then episode 100 will be in 3 weeks. No, Songbird's thing in Richmond is not episode 100. Somebody asked, it's like, what are you doing? No, that's not it. Episode 100 will be ours. Episode 100, not the Richmond thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not letting him supplant. That'll give me 3 weeks to come up with a good episode 100. No pressure. So that's what we'll pick up with.
I feel like we're probably going to be talking on the Discord a little bit about that
over
the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So come hang out with us and get some insight into some of these characters.
Yep.
We'll probably start off with like a short session 0 just to really nail in like the starting point of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then just dive straight in.
Yep. And that will run until we're done. So no rush on that, guys. Chris has Songbird. Chris, has an arc planned in mind. We're going to run through that, however long that takes. 3-4 weeks, and then we will be back for episode 100. But that's down the way. For now, though, just come hang out. I think all 3 of us have posted our Pinterest boards, so you can get an idea of our characters. And my realization that Vicar.
And Deacon is the name of a title of somebody in another organization, so I went away from that. Went for Vicar.
Well, it was going to be Drifter's title before I adjusted his character, but yes, so that's going to be fun. But they're both cowboy guys. Very different types of cowboys, though. And then we have Amanita. Probably be the scariest version of Vitratus I've ever seen. Of Ash. Yeah. So that'll be very, very fun. So as always, come join us on Discord. That's literally what we were just talking about. Yeet into .space. Come hang out with us there. You want to support us monetarily, or just check out some of the other stuff. Like I said, Network's character sheet is up. I did that last episode, live on air. We'll see if there's any comments complaining about it already. But that's on there. I need to go dig up the manuscript stuff for Deviant. I have been waiting to get the preview, and it just hasn't come out yet. So or the early access. So I may just go use the manuscripts and create his character sheet. It's just a little pain. And that's going to be up on Patreon. It's available to everybody. You do not have to be a patron, so it is worth it to just go and follow, which is just a free thing, and you get notifications about posts and stuff like that. So that's a good little thing. And then there are some stuff like our character art, the early little previews. Those are early for patrons, and then eventually is unlocked for everybody. So that stuff is on there. And then, of course, like I said, YouTube guys, too late. Though I guess you might be able to go see VODs. The virtual horror con is this weekend. So if you've got nothing else to do, which you don't, stay home. Come watch a bunch of horror games and panels and stuff like that. And we've got a lot of interesting people. I know I'm doing a panel for podcasting and streaming with the Devil's Luck gaming folks. So the ones who do all the full dress up. And I'm going to be like, I just...
Oh, they're fun.
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be a good counterpoint.
Yep. And then I'm trying to remember Chris Zach from Twin Cities by Night, who do a ton of podcasts. So it'll be very interesting to have us all chatting about different stuff. I think there's another person I might be missing, but yeah, that'll be very cool. And then also doing a street level horror Chronicles of Darkness thing with Dixie Cochran, Danielle, I cannot remember her last name right now, Megan Fitzgerald, myself, and one of the Botch Pit folks. And my wife is, what do you want? We're live. Go away. I have a smidge now. Hang on. Smidgey, come here. Smidge,
Sure off.
come here.
Puppy.
Walking ever so slowly. Come here, you lazy butt. No, don't lay down. Hello.
The puppy
I
dog.
am Smidge.
A dog.
I just had some surgery, and I'm being a very good girl and not messing with him. Well, actually, I just got my stitches out, so I'm being very good. Okay,
Puppy
thank you. So yes, as always, guys, thank you for joining us. You guys are a blast. Thank you for sharing in our little game and our different weird dogs. And sorry. Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Stay lucky.